So this is a bit random for my channel if you happen to watch me, but I wanted to try my hand at a video like this because I watch quite a few of these top 5 or top 10 blank games of top 5 like open world games or top 5 games of blank. And it's usually just trailer after trailer after trailer with very little talking or mostly no talking at all. So this is top 5 Steam early access games. Now, I judge these games based off of what they have already, how polished they are already, frequency of updates, and their initial plan for what the end game is. What they want to do whenever they release. So, now before you go and buy an early access game, you have to kind of expect that these are not full games. You're more of investing into a project. So the early access game could fail, or it could turn into something great. It might fail because the developers run out of money, or there's not that much interest in their game and they decide not to continue it. Or, maybe, as in the case with Nether, I don't think Nether was ever early access, but Nether had a complete kind of mishap where the initial development team lost it, and then a new development team came in and ruined the game, and then the original team got it back, but by that time they were working on new games, and it was a long story with Nether. So yeah, let's get on to this top 10 list. Or not top 10, top 5. Jeez. Man, I can't talk. So yep. So, number 5 on this list is a sci-fi MMO called Project Genome. I know what you're thinking is, why isn't there an E on the end of Genome to make it Genome? Because Genome isn't a word, I don't think. Well, I don't really know. Ask the developers why. So I found this project after searching for an MMO since I stopped playing World of Warcraft back in 2015. I just, got tired of World of Warcraft. I played it probably since to the end of 2007, probably in December 2007. I think I got it for Christmas on 2007. And well, before I played World of Warcraft, I played a amazing game called Star Wars Galaxies. You remember Star Wars Galaxies? I remember Star Wars Galaxies. It was just an amazing MMO where you didn't have to do anything. It was a game where you could do anything and not do anything at all, which just appealed to me so much. And then I stopped playing it to play World of Warcraft because one of my friends at the time convinced me to play World of Warcraft. And, I played that for a while, but eventually I stopped liking it. And I wanted to play Star Wars Galaxies again. But, the game was shut down. So, yeah. I blame Disney. Disney. Ugh. Can't. Disney. Disney. So, as I was searching for a modern game that would try to give me the Star Wars Galaxies experience, it led me to a game called The Repopulation. And I was looking at The Repopulation for a while. I was waiting for it to maybe improve a little bit. To maybe really get into it after it improved. Well, that game basically went under. It's still on Steam, but you can't buy it. Because apparently, I don't know what really happened to it. So, in the games like this tab, or you know what I mean, it's like, if you like this game, you might like this. One of the options was Project Genome. So that kind of had me interesting. It kind of looks similar. And, well, yeah, I thought I might give it a try, except I didn't. I thought I might wait for it to improve a little bit. And, yeah, I still am looking at it, But, yeah, so Project Genome is an open world, non target sci fi MMO with an innovative character progression system. Pilot a walking robot, transform your body's DNA, use various kinds of high-tech buildings. Or, wow, their sentencing is a little wrong. I'm reading from the Steam page. So you get to build ships and explore worlds. It's developed by Neuron Haze, and this is their only game. And it's on the Unreal Engine, so it looks good. Now, there might be some screen tearing, but, as I've found with some indie games on the Unreal Engine. So, for an early access MMO, it seems they've put a good amount of work into it. And as it is early access, there's still a lot more work to do. Especially for an MMO. As MMOs kind of take a while to get really good. Like Elder Scrolls Online, they kind of was mediocre, and now with that latest update, it's kind of good-ish. Same with The Division, it was pretty bad. And then after a while, they kind of fixed everything-ish. So, Project Genome for an indie MMO on Steam is pretty nice in that it has voice acting. Now, not two MMOs have voice acting. Is this the greatest voice acting in Project Genome? No. It's kind of mediocre. But it is voice acting. So, I haven't played this game, like I mentioned. But I've watched a good amount of videos and looked at stuff online. And the skill tree system looks crazy. I'll have a screenshot. You'll see it going through a couple screenshots maybe. And it just seems like for those people that love huge skill trees. Maybe not every little thing is useful. But like if you like the huge skill trees, this might be the game for you. And if you like sci-fi. The reason it's number 5 is because it still needs a lot of work, and if you think that you want to invest in this game, or early access project, go right ahead. I'll have their website link, their Steam link, everything in the description. On to the next one. So, we're on to number 4 of this list. And if you don't like MMOs like Project Genome and want something single player, but still in the sci-fi setting, this game might be for you. This is P.A.M.E.L.A. Pamela. Pamela is an intense open-world survival horror set in a fallen utopia called Eden. You get to play as a sleeper awoken from the cryosleep. Now, Eden is a fallen utopia wrought with death and danger. You get to utilize a wide range of high-tech weapons, equipment, and buildable items. These can all be upgraded to suit your needs. You get to meet Pamela, an omnipresent AI overseer, who is left alone watching over the once vibrant city, now reduced to a silent monolith. So I found Pamela in a very weird way. I was actually searching for Escape from Tarkov stuff, and thought Escape from Tarkov is probably the best looking Unity engine game. Yes, Escape from Tarkov is on Unity. I highly modified Unity, but it's still Unity. This led me to a page where someone was talking about Escape from Tarkov's graphics and said this is the best looking Unity engine game. And in the post under theirs, someone posted the trailer for Pamela, and I thought, there's no way this can be on Unity. I mean, just look at it. Not that you can judge graphics off of a YouTube video, because YouTube makes graphics look worse because of the compression system. Plus, you have rendering and uploading and a lot of things that mess with the graphics. The way Pamela looks, it almost looks like an Unreal Engine game. Like, for how much work they put into a Unity Engine game, this game, Pamela, is going to really go somewhere once it's out. Because at the time of this recording, the game is not out yet. It says it's going to come out in February. So, yeah. But with how much work they've put into it, I think this deserves a spot on the list, even though it's not out yet. Because it does say early access. And I expect YouTubers to really show this game a lot. Because it's a survival horror open world game. It's a horror game. Horror games, YouTubers always show horror games. So, we're on to number 3. And that game that takes the number 3 spot is already very well known. That game is Besiege. A game that is extremely well known. There isn't really a similar game, or wasn't, but when Besiege first kind of entered Steam. Now, it has led to several kind of clone games. Sort of clone games. Now, Besiege is a physics-based building game where you can build all types of vehicles with medieval-style parts. The community, however, has taken this game to places where not even the developers thought possible. With the Steam Workshop, which Besiege supports, the community has built things that you would never have thought possible. From human-like robots to modern tanks and even amusement park rides. Besiege is truly an amazing game. At the time of this recording, Besiege has over 18,000 positive reviews to only 700 some negative reviews. That is a very large positive compared to negative. And that's only the people who have reviewed the game. There's more who haven't reviewed it. Some people just buy it and they don't review games. So yeah, like I'll have a link to some YouTube playlist of Besiege creations, and if you don't know of the game already, I don't know how you wouldn't have known of this game if you happen to be on YouTube. So yeah, if you're interested in designing vehicles or anything really, check out Besiege. So, the number 2 spot on this list. Now, this game has a lot of hype around it. Goes back to a simpler time. When you didn't have kill streaks, you didn't have perks, you didn't have crazy attachments, you didn't have extra jumps, you didn't have dog companions, you didn't have robot terminators, you didn't have flying drones, you didn't have camo, you didn't have exo rigs and exo supply drops and and all manner of things people truly probably didn't want in their games. This would be Battalion 1944. I'm pretty sure you know about it. If you don't know about it, then I don't know how. This game has had tons and tons of hype around it. Now, Battalion seeks to truly bring back the early days of World War II shooters like Medal of Honor and the early Call of Duty games. Now, Battalion 1944 is truly a member game. You remember those days? I remember playing Medal of Honor with my friends and having well-rod fights. I forget what Medal of Honor that was, but I remember playing it. I remember playing COD 3 online. That was my first game I ever played online. I remember because we got the little attachment thing for the PS2 that allowed you to go online. Now, COD 3 is kind of a weird place in the Call of Duty universe, because it's a class-based Call of Duty 3, and it has vehicles, but it kind of sort of kept... It was before COD 4, and I loved playing that with me and my dad. Now, Medal of Honor and Call of Duty, and there was another one, but yeah. Now, Battalion 1944 isn't innovative. It doesn't bring anything new. It's just a combination of the old Call of Duties and Medal of Honor games, just on a modern engine. And you know what? It doesn't need to be innovative. It's doing what the community of Call of Duty has wanted. A go a a go back, basically. A go back to this time where skill mattered, not which detachment and which perk and which kill streak you're using at this moment. A game where you had your gun. You know, it doesn't matter if this gun was good or bad, you had to use it. Or you killed someone and picked up their gun, basically. This has gotten a lot of hype and support because, you know, Call of Duty's gone to space and is now more of Halo. And Medal of Honor series is basically dead, with Warfighter being the last one, and Warfighter was pretty mediocre because the development team got in trouble with the governments. I think of multiple nations. Go search up the story of Medal of Honor Warfighter. So yeah, Battalion 1944 is early access on PC, and according to their page, it will eventually be on Xbox One and PS4. Now, before we get on to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. So, the first one of these honorable mentions that we have in this video list is called The Art of War Red Tides. Now, this game is very weird and kind of unique. Why? Well, it is a lane-based RTS. Lane-based, like a MOBA. Like, you know, think League of Legends, Dota 2, Smite with their lanes. But this is an RTS, meaning it's like Command & Conquer. So it's like a combination of Command & Conquer and League of Legends and Dota. So, and it is multiplayer and single player. You can face bots. It's kind of a weird concept to put an RTS and a MOBA together. I guess it's not that weird because the first MOBA, right? Dota 1 came from a mod of an RTS. So yeah. And the reason this is an honorable mention and not something on the full list is because this is a free-to-play game. Now, I don't really trust free-to-play games because that business model can usually lead to some pretty bad things. You know, like pay-to-win or premium accounts. Both of which are pretty bad. Or I consider pretty bad. If you're going to do a true free-to-play, then the only thing that you should have to pay for is... Or you shouldn't... The only thing that you should be able to pay for is skins. And things that don't affect gameplay. And don't affect progression. Alright, so... We're on to number 2 of the honorable mentions list. So, number 2 spot goes to War of Rights. Now, this game has been doing something that I haven't seen in a long time. The last time I saw a Civil War FPS game was the History Channel one for the PS2, which I have. I've played it relatively recently. It's a pretty okay game. So, War of Rights is focused on the 1862 Maryland campaign, pretty early in the war. The game is being made on CryEngine, and it looks really good for a small indie team. I mean, it's kind of hard to make CryEngine look bad, right? Alright, they're also part of the Crytek Indie Development Fund. And, whichever game gets the most votes will get funding to help it, be developed. I'll have a link in the description. A lot of links in the description, so... Yeah, and the reason this is in honorable mentions, and not in the full list, is because right now on Steam, you can't buy it. Like, you can't, purchase it through Steam. You have to go through their Kickstarter page. I think through their Kickstarter, I forget. So, yeah, that's why it's an honorable mention. Okay, so the final honorable mention, until we get to the number 1 on the regular list of early access games on Steam, is Memory of L Durham, an open-world fantasy RPG being developed on CryEngine. Again, with other CryEngine games like War of Rights, the graphics simply look great. Especially in this game with the castles. Like, the castles in this game look amazing. Now, you might be asking, why is this game in an honorable mention? And not in the regular list? Well, the indie development team here has hit sort of a roadblock in that Amazon has asked them to help develop their new game engine. The new game engine is called L. It is based on CryEngine, so basically it's an improved CryEngine. Now, the game you're seeing is not on L, it's on CryEngine. And, well, with their hands full with L, they haven't really had time to develop Eldurim more. And there's kind of a second roadblock here, in that they don't really know if they should keep their game on CryEngine, or when L is finished, port their game to that. Because, L is going to be an improved CryEngine. So, you're kind of have two roadblocks here in the development of this game. It's not dead, but it's definitely not going places fast. I mean, they've been pretty active in their community explaining all this, so... And they want to see this game, finished one day, but they do have a number of roadblocks. Alright, so number 1 on the list. This game has to be The Isle. An open-world survival game. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are tons of those, and they're usually all crap, where you just walk around for hours, and then you die. Well, The Isle is a different kind of beast. And beast is, used lightly. It's more of an open-world horror survival MMO. Sort of MMO. Kind of, it's kind of hard to explain, but I have a lot of info to go over. Now, right now, the game is more or less just a playable dinosaur game, where you walk around on a big map playing as dinosaurs. Now, this could interest you already, as this will be some part of the game. But eventually, dinosaurs will just be one faction in this game. Yes, there are factions in this game. And dinosaurs are one of them. And there's 2 different types of dinosaurs. You have carnivores and herbivores. That's how they're split up. Now, dinosaurs aren't going to be the biggest threat. The entire island is trying to kill you. That's why it's called the Isle, yeah. So right now, like I said, there's just dinosaurs. And they're not really in any particular order and from any particular time like the Saurian is going to be. The Saurian is based on one particular area. Now, the Isle has T-Rex, Gigasaurus, Utahraptor, Puertosaurus, Shantungosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Spinosaurus, all these other ones that don't fit together, but you know what, they're cool, so put them in here. The Isle's not really based off of, history. Now, there's gonna be some other factions, like I mentioned. One of the other factions is humans. Now, I know what you're thinking. Humans and dinosaurs, what is this, the Stomping Land? That game failed horribly. No, this is not the Stomping Land. Because there's going to be multiple different types of humans. It's going to be mercenaries. These are, military guys, military gear, M4s, AKs, G36, G3s, And they are going to have, like I mentioned, a good amount of weapons. Then there's going to be survivors, which seem to just be people that kind of crash-landed on the island. And they're just trying to survive this crazy, hectic land. And then the final human type are natives. Basically, sticks, sharp rocks, natives, tribes, lost tribe on an island. That type of stuff. Oh, there's also another faction, or this might be a kind of sub-faction of another one, called cannibals. I know what you're thinking, oh, that's just a human. Not really in this case. Think more of a Wendigo. Remember Wendigos from, like, Until Dawn? Think sorta like that. So yeah, now you see what kind of game we're getting into. We got dinosaurs, humans with guns, and we got crazy Wendigo type things. And that's not even the beginning of it. Now, unlike most survival games, there's actually some goals. In that each of these factions will sort of have progression and goals and things to do. Now, Dinosaurs, the only faction in the game right now, have progression. Now, basically, you don't get to start as a T-Rex. You don't get to start as, a Stegosaurus. You start as a tiny, small dino. I believe right now for the carnivores, it's a Velociraptor. And for the herbivores, it's the Pasatosaur. I forget, it's like a little tiny hamster. It's like a hamster and a Triceratops put together. But you start as this, and you have to survive and gain points in order to get to the next rank in progression. Now, this is a pretty neat idea in how to add some more reason to survive. Because you get to, you go from Velociraptor to Utah Raptor to Allosaurus to T-Rex. Or, any other kind of tree that they have in the game. It's kind of like a progression tree, almost. Same with herbivores. Now, you might be thinking, well, what happens when I get to the top of T-Rex? Like T-Rex or Spinosaurus. Well, you can go further. What do you mean further? Isn't T-Rex and Spino like the top predators of their time? Yeah, but like I said, this isn't, a regular island. As I mentioned, there's Wendigos. So each of these top predators, and I think maybe eventually top herbivores, will have strains. Strains are kind of hard to explain, but imagine them as you get to turn your T-Rex or Spinosaurus into kind of a demonic mutant beast. So there's 3 types of strains. And there's one called hypochondrian, one called tissoplastic, one called neurotenic. Each of these are completely different and will turn your beast already into some type of raid boss, basically. Just stupid amounts of power that these will have. But you're not going to get them easily. This game is not easy. It's not like, you'll play for like you won't be able to speedrun an hour and get to the top and be invincible. No. It's hard. The island, like I said, the island is trying to kill you constantly. Or will. Right now, it's more just a dinosaur walking simulator. But eventually, the devs have some crazy plans. Like, you'll see in the screenshots, like, just some crazy stuff. Like I mentioned, each top tiny predator will have a strain. Will have each of these 3 strains. So, like, T-Rex will be able to get these strains. Spinosaurus, I think Gigasaurus, I think Carnotaurus, and I think Utah Raptor will each be able to kind of get these strains and turn into, crazy beasts. And there's probably even, more that they're going to add because they've shown some crazy stuff. with this game. You know, yeah, these strains aren't limited to just the dinosaurs. The cannibals I mentioned, the kind of Wendigo beast, will also be able to get these crazy strains. Now, these strains, they're not going to be something that you just get points and put them into. Like, these things are raid boss quality that you're going to be playing as. Like, huge beasts that you just tear through everything. So, they haven't really released the details of how you'll get to the strains, but I'm imagining you're going to have to go through some type of crazy event. It's going to be crazy rare. And, it's going to be crazy how to get that. So, the game will also have full workshop support. Full Steam Workshop. That means each server could keep adding like crazy things to make the game even crazier. Like, say they forget to add a dinosaur you want. Maybe if you're a good enough modeler, you can just add it. Yeah? Like, I mean, look how much stuff has been added to Ark Survival Evolved. So, like, and with this game, the dev has definitely been updating it a lot and been constantly working on it. As the lead dev has previously worked on Primal Carnage's Extinction, and he left because the game didn't go where he wanted it, and now he's making a crazy game. Like this game is just crazy ambitious, and I hope that the Isle continues and turns into something just amazing. Because all these things I'm reading, I've read their website stuff, I've read all the Steam stuff, I've watched videos, and they are planning craziness. Like, that I could never have imagined would be in a game. So yeah, that's my top 5 list with 3 honorable mentions. If you have any other games, post them down below. These are just ones that I kind of looked up, and kind of looked at. So, yeah, that's the end of it. All of the links will be in the description. Like, comment, subscribe.